Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics They're Bad For You, the name of my YouTube channel. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, the name of my BitChute channel is Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about the story that's been making the headlines lately. Rian Johnson tells off Star Wars fans upset with The Last Jedi diversity. Effed them. Yes, Rian Johnson, the man who refuses to learn, keep your damn mouth shut. Apparently, we should be happy about that because we get to make fun of him now to no end. Rian Johnson has an acclaimed new film opening this month with the star-studded murder mystery Knives Out, but that doesn't mean he's escaped talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi. Fan backlash during a Wired Live Q&A event this weekend via GameSpot. Johnson addressed his Star Wars critics yet again after one audience member implied some fans had an issue with the increased diversity in the space franchise. The Last Jedi was the most inclusive Star Wars. Yet, thanks to stars like Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and Kelly Marie Tran, Johnson's response was blunt. If someone's responding to diversity negatively, F them. Ew. Great. This guy, Rian Johnson, he is an idiot. He's a leftist, moronic ditwit whose IQ couldn't fill a thimble, and you know what, Johnson? No, Rian Johnson. Star Wars already had diversity. We had Princess Leia. We had Lando Calrissian. We had all these awesome characters. I mean, Disney started the process by buying the franchise. JJ basically poisoned the well, but you killed the patient. You killed Star Wars, Rian Johnson, and that's something the fans will never forgive you for. The filmmaker clarified that not everyone who hated The Last Jedi had a problem with the film's increased diversity. There were a number of reasons The Last Jedi polarized franchise fans, but Johnson said the backlash was not too surprising. I grew up as a Star Wars fan. He said, I was in my 20s when the prequels came out. This whole idea that it's been sunshine and roses and then everyone's yelling at each other is baffling to me. You would say something like this. It's baffling to you why you get criticism, why diversity is such a problem for people? Well, guess what? Diversity is not a problem. The original Star Wars movies had diversity. Your diversity is forced and, well, stupid. And you dare call yourself a Star Wars fan. I grew up a Star Wars fan. My butt. That's another lie you make. People care deeply about Star Wars, and every single person has a slightly different version of what they think Star Wars is, Johnson added, and so much of the fun of it is arguing about it. Not anymore. Star Wars is basically dead. You killed the franchise. While The Last Jedi left some fans upset about the direction of the Skywalker trilogy, the movie dazzled film critics 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. Disney bought that Rotten Tomatoes score, you jit, and still managed to gross $1.3 billion worldwide. The next Star Wars film, The Rise of Skywalker, is opening December 20th and features The Force Awakens helmer J.J. Abrams back in the director's seat to close out the long-running movie saga. And that worldwide gross of $1.3 billion, that's nothing compared to how much money The Force Awakens made. And I know sequels never make as much money as the originals, but The Force Awakens was a sequel itself. The fact that it made so much money and yet the next one had a massive billion-dollar loss into it. Well, some people had their eyebrows raised by that and they thought something could be off about this movie. And it was, because The Last Jedi was a bomb, at least by anyone's standards who actually saw the movie. Because if you know what a good film is, you know The Last Jedi was not a good film. It might have made a bunch of money, but it was still a bad movie. As for Johnson, his Star Wars future remains somewhat unclear. It's pretty clear to me Disney booted him out. Lucasfilm has announced plans for Johnson to develop a new trilogy of Star Wars movies. Those plans have been scrapped, you know. But not even Johnson knows when that will start. The director has said multiple times this year he's simply waiting for Lucasfilm to figure out its schedule before he begins work on another Star Wars movie. The director's latest movie, Knives Out, opens in theaters nationwide November 27th from Lionsgate. So, Rian Johnson is waiting for Lucasfilm to figure out its schedule, is he? Is that his excuse? And here I thought he was just booted out by Disney because they want nothing to do with him and they ordered him to be quiet and not draw unwanted attention to himself. I guess I can understand why Disney booted him out now, because Rian Johnson refuses to be quiet and has gone so far as to say F the fans again. He keeps doing this, and we're supposed to forgive him because he's in our tour, and we're supposed to love his films. Well, we don't. We hate The Last Jedi. We hate you, Rian Johnson. You are not an artist. You're a hack, just like your pal JJ. I hope both of you lose your jobs, and I hope you both end up starving on the streets. And I mean these words because I'm tired of taking this stuff up the rear end from these rich Hollywood types who think they have the world at their beck and call. They don't. We pay you money, like I've said in other videos. We do not pay you to talk back to us. We are your bosses, JJ and Rian. You do what we say because we pay you money. So entertain us, you two dancing twits. Yes, twits. They're little frickin' twits who think because they are filmmakers they have the right to treat their fans like crap. They do not. These egomaniac, psychopathic filmmakers are a blight on our society. We should make our own franchises and our own property now. Property that can be a science fiction franchise or an adventure franchise, just something that we make for ourselves to entertain people that we know would like it, and not any of this agenda-driven social engineering films that were made to just brainwash people and make them dumber. And on top of that, if we dare voice we don't like these films, we're called racist and misogynists and then told to F off by these psychopathic monsters. These people are all psychopaths. I'm not saying everyone in California or in Hollywood is a monster, but the ones that apparently have all the power are. And I hate that. These people don't give a damn about any of this stuff, really. And if they do, they're such totally out of their minds about it that they can't see that they're digging their own graves. Because if this country does become a communist state, they'll be the first ones up against the walls and then shot in the back of the heads. They are idiots. Do they even know anything about history, about the USSR, about how horrible it was? It was worse than Nazi Germany. Stalin killed 40 million people. Hitler killed 21 million. Jeez, and we are supposed to sympathize with this monster who these people idolize, these stupid tits. I'd like to call them stronger language than that, but I'm having fun trying to figure out ways to razz them without making a bunch of cuss words over and over again. Because if I have to go to the F-bomb over and over again, I think you people would probably turn off this video somewhat. At least some of you would. And I just want to entertain you. So, what else can I say about Rian Johnson except that he's a total tit or a total, oh yeah, I put this image in here too. Don't you think this alien guy looks a lot like Rian Johnson? The beady eyes, the fat lip, and the hairy face. Don't you just want to, I don't know, throw a bucket of popcorn at it or something? I know I do, because this guy reminds me of Rian Johnson's face. Now, Rian Johnson, inside he looks like this guy, an ugly little man who has no creativity, and when he does get his hands on doing anything good, he totally destroys it, like he did with The Last Jedi. Disney should no longer trust this man to helm even a coffee shop, because I'm pretty sure the customers there would run screaming from it. As soon as he opened his mouth, the customers would just flee in fright of him, because all he can do is say agenda-driven politics, women's rights, and F you if you don't like them. And I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams will agree with him, because they'll be working alongside of him as soon as Disney decides to boot them out of Lucasfilm and make Kevin Feige the complete overlord of all of Disney's new movies going forward. Now, what else can I say about this? Only the fact that J.J. Abrams proves he's an idiot and he doesn't even have to open his mouth because he mentored Rian Johnson and then he gave him the directorial duties on the second film in the Star Wars franchise that Disney was making. It proves that J.J. Abrams can't do anything and that he's an idiot because he trusted Rian Johnson to do a good job and he couldn't do that. If you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is going around unsubscribing people, so make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, read comics, they're bad for you. Then go over to BitChute and subscribe to my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And if you could you please share this video, share it on Twitter and share it on Facebook, because YouTube is not going around promoting their YouTube creators anymore, and it would really help me if you could please share this video. Now listen closely, it's that time of the day again. It's plug-in time. Keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.